Efento sensors for measuring voltage and current are equipped with analog inputs, allowing them to work with various types of measurement probes, enabling the measurement of parameters such as high pressure, distance, or depth. An advantage is the ability to power the external probe from the sensor's battery, making it versatile and simplifying the device installation process. Depending on the type of probe used, there are specific connection diagrams for the Efento sensor. All variants for connecting analog probes can be found in the NB-IoT sensor user manual on the getefento.com website. To connect the external probe, unscrew the 4 screws located at the bottom of the enclosure. Before proceeding, make sure the device is turned off. Unscrew the mounting screw of the electronic board, then remove it from the enclosure. Unplug the extension board. Pass the external probe cable through the cable gland. Connect the external probe wires to the appropriate connector. Plug the extension board to the main board, ensuring that pin 1 goes into connector 1. After properly inserting the extension board, make sure that the last 2 connectors are free. Place the battery assembly into the enclosure, ensuring that no wires are pinched by the electronic board, then screw it back into the enclosure. The standard Efento analog sensor is equipped with 2 individual input channels, to which 2 different external probes can be connected. In this case, a probe measuring water depth is connected to the sensor. The probe requires power, which will be provided directly from the Efento sensor battery using the appropriate V1 and I1 connectors and the J2 jumper. As the probe is submerged deeper, the measured current increases. Due to the high current consumption when powering the external probe from the sensor's battery during measurements, the measurement period is set to 30 minutes. This means that you must wait 30 minutes before each subsequent measurement. You can reduce the measurement period during the device configuration, but remember that leaving a short measurement period permanently will result in shorter battery lifetime. The configuration of the Efento analog sensor is done using the Efento mobile application. To configure the device to work with the connected external probe, connect to the sensor, open the menu located in the upper right corner of the screen, and then navigate to Advanced, followed by Calibration. The calibration parameter that can be adjusted is the startup time, which defines the interval between powering the probe and performing the measurement. Adjusting this parameter is essential for the proper operation of the system, and you can find more information about it in the technical documentation of the connected external probe. If set incorrectly, the sensor will perform the measurement incorrectly. The analog sensor is pre-calibrated, but you have the option to manually calibrate the sensor to increase measurement accuracy. A precise current generator will be required for this calibration. To start the manual calibration, go to the Manual Calibration menu and follow the instructions displayed on the screen. Manual calibration involves a 4-step measurement, during which you need to provide the correct voltage or current values to the sensor's analog input. To achieve higher accuracy, calibration should be performed for 4 measurement points. For a current measurement device, the measurement points are 4 milliamperes, 12 milliamperes, 16 milliamperes, and 20 milliamperes. While for devices measuring voltage, the points are 1 volt, 2 volts, 6 volts, and 10 volts. In order for the NB-IoT sensor to send data to the Efento Cloud platform, it must be added to your organization. To do this, go to the Cloud section in the mobile application, log into your organization, then open Organization Settings, and press the Add Sensors button located at the bottom of the screen. If you do not have a free sensor license and SIM card on your platform, enter the activation key here. When adding a new device, pay attention to what type of sensor you have. In this case, we are adding an NB-IoT analog sensor, which requires a SIM card for proper network connection. In the next window, select the serial number of the device you want to add to your Efento Cloud organization from the list, and then after successfully reading the data from the SIM card, confirm your willingness to activate it by entering the 4-digit PIN 2 code, located on the plastic frame of the card. If the PIN code matches, the device will read the APN and PLMN settings of the SIM card and then allow you to edit them. it is recommended to use automatic SIM card settings for both parameters. If the previous steps were successful, the process of configuring the SIM card and synchronizing the device with Efento Cloud will begin. After successfully connecting the sensor to the platform, assign a name to the new device and select the location where it should be placed. When adding a device to Efento Cloud, you have the option to activate channel formulas that allow for the conversion of measurement values received by the platform, making the collected data more readable for the user. Please note that this is only possible during the initial addition of the sensor to the Efento Cloud platform. If you wish to use this functionality, select the channel redefinition and choose the target type for each channel. Since we are using an analog 4:20 sensor with a probe measuring depth in this case, we select the target type distance, expressed in millimeters. After saving the changes, it will be necessary to set the channel formulas. You can either choose an existing formula or create a new one, which the platform will use to convert the measured current intensity received from the sensor. When creating a new formula, you will need to give it a name. Check if the redefinition types are aligned with the assumptions, and set the formula permissions. The public setting allows other users with access to the formula manager to edit the formula later, while the private setting can only be edited by the user who created it. In the second stage of creating a new formula, you need to define segments, which are logical conditions along with formulas designed to convert the values sent by the sensor. After pressing the Add Segment button, you will have the option to enter a new formula and its corresponding logical condition. The conversion formula must be mathematically correct and limited to 32 characters. To refer to the returned value, you need to use the special character X. For example, doubling the value sent by the sensor can be done using the formula X times 2. In the formula segment, you can use basic special characters such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, grouping expressions. To determine the formula needed to convert the current intensity values received from the sensor into distance, you need to consult the external probe manufacturer's documentation. If the technical documentation does not provide this information, and the manufacturer is unable to provide a formula, it will be necessary to calculate the coefficient and derive the formula through testing. A sample test conducted with our setup involved measuring to determine the current intensity values for the 0 point and several immersion points of the external probe: 200 millimeters, 500 millimeters, 700 millimeters, 1000 millimeters. The measurement results should be recorded, and then for each value except the 0 point, the coefficient should be calculated using the formula. For example, to calculate the coefficient for the first measurement point, substitute the values H1, I1, and I0, and then write down the result. Perform the calculations for the remaining measurement points. To determine the main coefficient, calculate the average of the obtained values and round it to 2 decimal places. We already have the measurement value at the 0 point and the coefficient for converting the measurement value. Now we can proceed to the configuration of the channel formula segments. The first one will be the formula responsible for converting the measured current intensity into depth in millimeters. The measured value from the sensor should be subtracted by the 0 point, and then the result should be multiplied by the coefficient. Due to the type of external probe and weather conditions, the 0 point measurement may change. To avoid displaying incorrect negative values on the Efento Cloud platform, it is necessary to secure the measurement by adding a second segment with a condition that excludes all values below the previously set 0 point. This way, you can add up to 6 segments for each formula. If more than one logical condition is met, the segment higher on the list will be selected for the final calculation of the values measured by the sensor. A measurement that does not meet any of the segment conditions will result in a channel error. Once the formulas for the channels have been configured, save the changes. Congratulations! The device has been successfully configured and added to the Efento Cloud organization. The first measurements will be displayed on the platform during the next communication between the sensor and the server.